Hey everybody, welcome back to the Queerosphere Podcast, Season 2!
Welcome back. We're so excited to have Season 2. Well, today has been kind of a wild ride getting into this new studio and trying to figure out how to set up a goddamn mic.
Yeah, my entire August has been kind of a wild ride.
Yeah, honestly. I haven't had a break of wild rideness since for a long time. I mean, COVID, and then also May was crazy, and since May, I feel like my life hasn't had a moment to fucking slow down.
Have we ever considered that maybe life is just a wild ride?
I don't like to consider that, but I guess because I like to have my peace and quiet sometimes. I like to color on occasion and pretend that I am the only one that exists while coloring. So
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are back, and today we are going to talk to you about our home base, Spokane. But first, we have a check-in question. As usual, we'll get back to those. We'll do those again. Woo! What's the check-in question?
Our check-in question is, what is your favorite local mascot?
Woo! Okay, I already have mine because I went to college for 3 months. And the Evergreen State University has literally a gooey duck as their mascot.
Yeah, I think that...
I love him.
We love the gooey duck. We stand the gooey duck. I stand gooey ducks generally anyways.
But and it's awful too. It's like a shiny tinsel, green shell, and then a flaccid...
No. They have a costume for it?
Oh, absolutely. He's there. Yeah, they have an actual mascot.
Oh my god. Okay, I just thought it was a mascot. They didn't have a costume for it, that they just presumed it was a mascot.
Oh no, he's a mascot.
Okay.
He has a name. I forgot his name. Sort of like how at Deer Park we have that stag.
Yeah, right.
What's his name? Stanley?
Something like that.
Stanley. No, they have an actual mascot. He dresses up. He was there at orientation week. He goes to events. They don't really do sports there that much, so he does mostly just showing up for just making special appearances at events.
He's probably the star of the show. That's what they're there for, is to see the gooey duck.
He's really sad looking, so I doubt it.
Oh, well. Do mascots get paid?
I don't know. I think that they're considered a member of the cheer squad, generally.
So they just cheer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
What's yours?
I am hearkening back to something very sweet from my childhood, and that is, I think his name is Leo the Lion from Loon Lake Elementary School.
Aw, cute.
We had this long-running joke as a staff when I was there for AmeriCorps, and the staff that are there, they always joke that they don't know who it is. They don't tell you which staff member they put in the costume.
Oh yeah, there are high schools and colleges where who's the mascot is a secret all year. Nobody knows the identity of the person under that suit.
I think that is a fierce game to play.
Yeah, it's a tradition, I think. I think it makes it fun because it's who's the mascot this year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would run around looking at the people's nails. Whose nails can I...
They used to do that at Deer Park too. I don't think anyone knew who Stanley was until prom. Really?
I feel like my class really tried to etch it out and try to get who it was. Also, I think it changed. I don't think it was ever just one person.
Well, so. It does change it's always a senior, I think.
Right, no, I mean it changed seniors. Our year didn't...
Oh, they didn't have a consistent...
We have
Stanley.
Non-committal
Gotcha.
Senioritis in my class. It's super bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I think mascots are really fun.
Yeah.
I grew up going to hockey games here in Spokane for our local team, which has a very... Listen, it's Spokane. We still got bad names. The Spokane Chiefs are a hockey team.
Yeah.
But their mascot is Boomer the Bear. And
yeah.
He's a black bear who is in full hockey gear.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
Well,
Love
and
Boomer.
Then the Spokane local baseball team is the Spokane Indians, right?
Yeah.
And they only recently changed their mascot.
Yeah.
Actual mascot, the costume.
Right.
Because initially it was somebody wearing a headdress.
Yes.
And now I think it's an aardvark or something weird. I don't know, it's this blue, weird looking creature. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's an anteater or something.
Yeah, isn't that what an aardvark is?
No.
They're two different animals?
I think so.
I've lived my entire life thinking they're the same animal.
I don't know. What I do know is that I always heard that Arthur was an anteater originally and not an aardvark.
Oh. I never heard this news, and I always assumed the same thing.
Maybe they are the same thing.
Big diff, bitch.
Maybe this is another, like, Gnarls Barkley, CeeLo Green situation. It's the same man.
That's super funny.
You know, Audrey Graham and Drake. It's the same man.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. But yeah, good for Spokane for changing finally. Now they just need to change the names.
Yeah.
Like, we need new names for our teams.
And that seems easy enough. If you can change a mascot, you should be able to change a name pretty easy. And I don't know.
For real. I mean, I know that people love to yell, "Go Chiefs," but we can do something else.
Yeah. Fun fact: the Chiefs were featured in a Z Nation, which is a zombie apocalypse show. And they start in Spokane with two characters, and one of them plays on the Chiefs, and the other is like just this random girl in the crowd who likes hockey, and they end up like dating throughout the Z Nation show for a while till he dies tragically.
Wow.
I always liked that tidbit of information because number one, zombie shows, and number two, Chiefs hockey. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Because you could tell it was Spokane.
Yeah, Chiefs hockey is a big one for Spokane. It's like our one semi-successful sports team.
Yeah, and I mean, considering we're close to Canada, it doesn't surprise me that like hockey. Us Northerners like hockey.
Yeah, Seattle just got their hockey team back too, the Sounders.
Sounders? I thought that was soccer.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that they just got their hockey team back, though.
Okay. That's
like, cool. Seattle didn't have a hockey team, and now they have a hockey team again.
Yeah, originally I would go to just Eastern's hockey team shows. Yeah. Eastern's hockey games were pretty good.
Yeah, my grandma's husband, Mel, her fourth husband, Mel, always had like season tickets, so we had specific seats that were ours every year. We sat in the same spot every year for my entire childhood.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And we always used to go, there was only one time where we would sit in a different spot, and that's because we needed more seats, because it used to be like an alternating thing, like, oh, who wants to go to the hockey game this week? And then they have a night where it's like a stuffed animal drive, and so everybody throws their teddy bears during halftime. Everybody throws their teddy bears into the ice. And so my entire family would go, all the cousins, everybody would go to that one. And so we'd have to sit in a different area, and we'd toss them in.
Naturally, you don't want to go to a teddy bear throw.
Yeah. We'd bring so many stuffed animals, and we would throw them all in there.
That sounds super fun. Yeah. That sounds super, super fun.
It was. Yeah. But, I mean, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I've only ever moved or traveled for, like, small amounts of time,
like vacations and stuff.
Yeah, vacations, those 3 months that I went away for college,
right?
All of those things. And I don't know, I hate everywhere, but I hate Spokane less than I hate other places.
Yeah, and I don't think that's too strange. Like, I think Spokane's fine. Yeah. I've lived here mostly my entire life. I mean, I moved around for about 10 years in between no, not even 10 years, probably like 6 or 7 years in between 18 and that 6 years. I came back when I was like 25 or something, 26 or something. And I had a lot to learn as a person coming from Spokane. So when I moved around, I learned those things very viciously, especially like in places where it delivers a lot of culture shock. Because Spokane is a place that's pretty homogenous, I would say. On the outside, on appearances. Yeah. Just like how things are whitewashed every day, you know, when you see things from the outside, kind of what I mean by that. Yeah. But yeah,
I just feel like, personally, Spokane's a very progressive city. So it moves constantly in the direction more away from traditional values. Every year, I think. And I also think that if we had more young people voting, Spokane wouldn't be a conservative city at all.
I agree.
I mean, only like 27% of eligible, or like 32% of eligible voters in Spokane County voted during the last cycle.
Yeah, and what's unfortunate about this next election cycle too is that there are a lot of like legal people, like attorneys and stuff, who are running, and I think that's really important when you're considering like the progressiveness of like the nation and talking about the legality of things and living in a police state, and all of a sudden we have all these like Republican attorneys running and no voters to not vote for them, or like abstain in some way, and or write in a vote or vote for the one candidate that, you know, is the most progressive of the ballot. And yeah, that frustrates me a lot too, actually.
Politically, Spokane is very conservative, but I don't think that it's conservative in practice necessarily.
No. Well, I was just going to say, because I think the important piece of information here is that neither of us actually grew up in the city of Spokane for all of our lives until we moved, like until we grew up, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've lived here for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like actual living experience here. And I mean, living in Deer Park, growing up in Deer Park, it's a lot. I mean, especially having a family like mine, which is very country. It very much didn't really lend me to experiencing Spokane as a child in the way that I experienced as an adult. Because like the furthest we used to go in was Wellesley to the mall.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
Like, we hardly went any further than that. I don't think that I had ever been to the Valley Mall until I was, like, 16 years old.
Yeah.
And that was because Abby's mom took it.
Yeah. I was fortunate because my grandma lives in Spokane, so we'd go to my grandma's house, and she lives near Wellesley, and so we'd go to the mall all the time, but she would also take us around to places that, like, the Valley Mall and stuff, but we didn't get around much either. And, I mean, the one thing that, like, living north for most of my childhood, I think, is what really strikes me as like a difference is just like how like you can be really taken away from that progressiveness when you're literally like miles away from it. You really can. And if your parents or your community is keeping you sort of away from exploring things that are different than the community that you actually physically live in, then there's no way you're going to know like certain things about how it takes to live into a city. I mean, there's just such a difference between country living and city living, and even living in fucking Cheney for the 2 years that I lived in Cheney was excruciating compared to living in town for the last 3 months. I mean, like, I'm telling you.
By the way, Lou and I live together now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we live together now. That happened. Just a side note.
Yeah. Sidebar, we live together now.
Yeah.
So, that's a little bit of a different experience too.
Yeah.
Well, because you don't live in Cheney anymore, so you get to have a different. You get to have Spokane living experience.
Well, because before that, I wasn't even living in Spokane either. I was living in literal Loon Lake, fucking pit of hell.
You've never actually lived in the city of Spokane.
No, and I will say it's vastly different. I think I see the things that months ago you pointed out, but literally just didn't exist for me months ago, right? Because you cannot see unless you were actually there. For me, living in places like Seattle, Boston, and then Worcester, I literally, like, and vacationing in places like Los Angeles, I literally see a vast difference. I mean, it's just, and I even had this question, and this is really funny, actually. It happened to me the other day. One of my fiancés, one of, oh, well, no, I didn't mean one of my fiancés. One of my fiancé's friends is what I meant to say, but I was questioning fiancé because I didn't know what to say. But anyways, it really doesn't matter. So one of her friends asked me the other day, they were like, oh, Spokane's like a pretty big city. I didn't realize that it wasn't like, it's not Seattle, because they were over in Seattle and they had been in Portland. They were like, oh, is there gentrification here? And I literally looked at them and I said, yes, but
absolutely.
It doesn't look the same as it looks in Seattle. It doesn't look the same as it looks in Boston. It doesn't look the same as LA. It's when you think about gentrification in the way that it like changes a city, I think generally you see people being pushed out. What I see is the same thing, but because there's so much vast rural area around Spokane, it just looks different. People are arranging themselves in different spots that don't make sense to a city like Boston, where everything is literally like you have no space to go.
Yeah.
So it just looked like physically to me, when I see the progression of that, something like that, I literally was like, I don't even know how to describe that here.
Yeah. So like our gentrification, when you're looking at it, is it gentrification? Absolutely it is. But instead of taking down neighborhoods that already exist, we're building new gentrified neighborhoods. Because Spokane has a huge housing issue in the sense that we don't have enough for how our population is growing, because we are very much a retirement city.
And we're growing so rapidly lately.
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So when you see us, they're not trying to eliminate housing and replace it to make nicer neighborhoods at this point. They're rushing just to develop new land and make new things.
And because landlords are evil, they're generally making money.
They're making a lot. I mean, they're not, because, I mean, they're really frustrated because of the pandemic and the memorandums protecting people who were not able to pay rent during the pandemic.
Right.
So they're pissed about it, or they were pissed about it while it was happening, because they couldn't kick anybody out.
Right. I guess I'm wondering, my big question about putting up housing then would be like, is it going to be affordable housing still? And I think the answer is going to be a goddamn no, because
a lot of it is like the one that they're building right next to mine and the one that they built down the street. Those are both affordable housing units. They are labeling them as that, but realistically, I mean, it's the wrong decision, but that's what our developers want. They want more housing so that they can have more people here. Temporary housing so that they can get, oh my gosh, I just figured out the entire plan.
What?
More temporary housing like apartments so that they can get people who have houses who can no longer afford them out and into apartments, and then they can get richer people into those houses. Yeah, or destroy them and start building big houses. That's how gentrification is working for us.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of trying to get at, was just like there is a definite like step by step like that the poor homeless people are still going to be at a loss here.
College class, how to make gentrification work for you. That's the class that they take in college.
Yeah.
City developers.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, I personally love to see the direction that this city is going. Every single day, I see more and more things popping up where it's like the young and the queer are taking over.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere in Spokane, without seeing those little fucking stickers that are like, love is love. You are all welcome here.
Yeah.
Or, this is a safe space. You'll always be here. I mean, we're in this beautiful fucking library right now, and there's a huge display on the first floor. It's not even Pride Month anymore, but just of queer people featured on magazines. They have every magazine that featured a queer person on the cover in 2022.
That's insane. Really, I didn't even see that.
Downstairs.
That's super cool.
Yeah. I mean, we see it. I mean, God, I hope that we don't get those stupid fucking rainbow crosswalks, but they really want to put them in down there.
Oh, I voted for which crosswalk I wanted, actually. So they had the choice between Perry Street, Monroe, Garland, and downtown. Mm-hmm. And I think I did either Monroe or Garland, because I thought about the other two. It was like, Perry Street, it's too obvious. Downtown.
The Perry district's very gay.
Yeah, and
it's very gay, but it's very like hipster gay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was like, it's too obvious. Yeah. And then downtown a little bit. It's like following the trend of other cities where it's like a little too obvious, but also by all the gay bars. So like, duh. So I picked those other two districts because I was like, they're very touristy. If you want to get people to see that they like you're warm and accepting, put them in places where it's not just gay people.
Yeah.
Like
although Garland is severely queer.
It's like hipster, like Perry district. It's just more vintagey than Perry district is very like
Yeah, these are, mind you, historical districts in Spokane.
Right.
Spokane has historical districts.
We have a lot of districts.
We have a lot of historic districts, actually.
Yeah.
We have a lot of history here in Spokane.
Yeah, and a lot of history that's trying to be uncovered and unwhitewashed too, which is really interesting. I mean, the library, like we're here, tries to do a lot of that work by like renaming their event halls on the third floor, for example, Salish words.
Yeah.
And that's something that doesn't happen.
I don't know. I feel like Spokane's like my city. Like, and here's why I think that Spokane's like my city that I'll probably maybe live in for the rest of my life. Here are my reasons. Reason number 1, no earthquakes.
No earthquakes. What a benefit.
Reason number 2, mountains.
Mountains.
I do love mountains. Reason number 3, so many trees. Goddamn, Abby keeps...
You can breathe so well here.
So well. Abby keeps sending me fucking pictures of
Nothing.
Texas.
Just nothing. Wasteland.
No mountains. No trees. She's like, there are no fucking trees. How am I supposed to breathe?
Yeah. How do you breathe in Texas? Let me know.
You don't.
Send us an email.
How do you breathe in Texas? And also, I mean, my family's here, and that matters to me because I have a great connection with my family.
Right.
And number 5.
You said you were going to say 3. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I don't know.
No, I said
maybe I wasn't paying attention.
I was just listening to them.
Okay.
And then number 5, Spokane is a huge, renowned city for animal care. Besides our cat population, we really do not have an issue with animal control.
Yeah, our conservation is pretty over the top. We have a lot of like forestry for like things that are more like wildlife, and then we have like agriculture, things that are more like farming, and then also you're right, like the sheltering and kind of the animal shelter advocacy.
Yeah, we don't have packs of stray dogs in Spokane.
You won't find that.
No, never. We have our dog population completely under control. In fact, we have so few dogs here in Spokane that are just strays, that when we're not in a massive housing problem, we have to, which we are right now, so people are surrendering their animals to the shelters en masse. We take animals from all over the country to be rehomed here because we have such a great animal control system.
Yeah.
I don't think I could live in a city where I just walked down the street and saw masses of animals in pain and sad and homeless. I don't think it would be possible for me to do that. I would cry myself to sleep every single day.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the capacity for that. And here in Spokane, we have such a stable thing that if you want to work with animals in Spokane, you'll be helping animals from all over the country.
Yeah. That's special.
Which is very, very special and very pretty unique to Spokane.
Yeah.
Like, it's not often that a city is as under control as we are.
Yeah.
In that sense. We do have a stray cat population too. Please get your fucking cats fixed.
Yeah.
Just like get them fixed. Please.
There's no reason for you not to do it. And
no.
If you come at me with a reason, if any listener who thinks they know shit comes at me with a fucking reason,
yeah,
I'm coming back.
Yeah, I have a 5-week-old kitten here who almost died 2 days ago because it was abandoned and didn't have a mom. So, miss me with that bullshit. Get your cats fixed.
Yeah. There's, God.
But anyways, those are several things that I love about Spokane physically that would make me never want to leave. Just the location itself makes me not want to leave. Right. I mean, I've been in Olympia, hated it there. I've been in Seattle, hated it there. I've been in Canada, hated it there. I've been in Montana, hated it there. I've been in Idaho, hated it there. I've been in Oregon, hated it there.
Yeah.
I've been all across the Pacific Northwest, and I hated it there.
I hated it there. Moral of the story, Cry can't live anywhere besides Spokane.
Yeah, moral of the story, Cry is completely abject to living anywhere but Spokane.
Yeah, well, I'm absolutely not. I feel not the opposite. I just don't feel that way. And one of the things that is, for me, a big difference too is that I actually just like to be mobile. Like, I like being able to make a choice not to live somewhere anymore if I fucking hate it, or if I find a reason to not want to do that anymore, or to move on and do something else. I really like the ability to be able to like move on and travel to different places that show me different things that I seek. Like, you know, vacationing is like a thing, but like I would also love to be like live nomadically, where I live out of a trailer or something. I don't know that will ever happen for me, but that is something that I'm like super interested in. Spokane only holds a place in my heart insofar as that it's the place that I grew up. It's the city I was actually born in. So I don't like sit here in the city and like want to make love to it like every day. Honestly, I think most of the time I'm at a different stage in my life. Like I'm in a relationship with somebody, and me and that person are trying to figure out where exactly we even want to meet in the middle here about where we want to live for any minor or maximum amount of time, right? Like buying a house, figuring out if we want that mobility, figuring out, you know, like what kind of size of place that we want, if we want kids later, like all of this kind of stuff is like very pertinent. It's just that we are poor, so there's literally nothing like moving or in the works. There's no gears turning here. It's literally just thinking like, well, there's two of us now, and like exactly where would we want to be when someone is from LA and someone is from Spokane, Washington? Well, where are we gonna settle in the middle there, I guess? And it's been really interesting just trying to figure out, especially coming from Haley, like exactly what she likes and dislikes about Spokane, because from somebody who grew up in Los Angeles, this place is not at all what she likes. Like, it's not at all what she'd expected, and it's not at all, she doesn't experience it the same way as us. She just doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't experience California the same way Haley does.
No.
In fact, I've never been to California, but I can tell you for a fact that I'd fucking hate it there.
Yeah.
And I would, in fact...
California's easy to hate, to be honest.
In fact, I hate California just as an existence. I mean...
I think that, like, there are some things to be hated about California for sure, because
being
I have all my friends and my girl from there, and I know the tea about it, but it's just...
No, but I see Spokane and I think to myself, this is the place where I destroy capitalism.
I think it's a pretty good place to think that. I think you're in the right place, my friend.
Yeah, I think this is where it all begins. This is where I destroy capitalism. Spokane's going to be the first money-free city in the world.
So if you want to sign up for our newsletter, go ahead, follow Cry through the Queerosphere into the descent of capitalism, because they will be ending it.
Yeah, hashtag cancel capitalism.
Hashtag cancel money.
Hashtag cancel money. Yeah, that's what I hope for. I think that it could happen, because I don't know. But also just like, I don't know, as a grown-up who loves to be like, I'm not like I'm an extrovert, but I'm not like a party person.
Right.
Like, I don't like to go out and get crazy and do crazy things. But we can go out and still have, like, there's lots of queer things I can engage in that are not partying here in Spokane. Roller skating, for example.
What about roller skating, though? Like, what's so cool about that?
For one, it's very gay, and it's also, we have a huge roller skating community here in Spokane.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We have events at the pavilion. We have 2 roller skating rings, one in the valley,
I'm pretty sure we have derby teams.
Like... We have a derby team. We have a junior derby team. By the way, shout out to Pattinson's North.
Great place where we enter an ad for Pattinson's North. You can find them off of Division, going up Division, because I don't remember the address. I'm just kidding. I'm really being facetious, but no. Okay, so you remind me of Pattinson's. What are some of your like top like places to?
I was gonna get there.
Well, like hang out or do some shits. Like, what shits are you doing and where are you going?
So for one, I love to hang out at Pattinson's. Love it. It's great. We have many incredible tattoo artists, all of whom are supportive of trans, non-binary people. I recently got a tattoo at Perry Street Tattoo. There's a trans flag right when you walk in.
Nice. Safe
spaces. We have incredible tattoo artistry here in Spokane.
Yeah, I'd agree.
People travel from all over to get tattoos by some of our tattoo artists.
I think Haley's friend even mentioned when they were here, the person who asked about the gentrification, they were like, people are mad tatted here.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah, we are.
We are arted up on our arms and legs.
And I mean, obviously there are the bars, the queer bars, the Blind Buck, which is technically a gay bar, but straights welcome. It's a straight friendly gay bar. That's the joke that I like to make. And then the Globe and 9, all of whom host and employ many of our wonderful drag performers here in Spokane. On Saturday, every Saturday at the Globe, you can go check out one of our local drag shows hosted by our very own Nova Kane.
And then they do Sunday drag brunches.
And Sunday drag brunches. I think that's hosted by Ariana Hispanic, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that that's the one I want to go to. I want to go to a drag brunch. I've yet to be the Globe.
Yeah, drag brunch every Sunday. So those are some incredible events around. We've got lots of bowling centers, all of whom are queer friendly. We even have Lilac Lanes, which is one of those cool light up ones.
I haven't been to Lilac Lanes in forever.
For real. Spokane has its very own premier cat cafe, which is provided by our local cat shelter, Spokaneable Care. Shout out to Spokaneable Care, who's run by the amazing Dory. Boo, 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 boo. Hi Dory, we love you. And all the amazing staff there. We have shit ton of concerts these days. The Pavilion, open air concerts that we have outside of the Pavilion.
Those are cool. Phoebe Bridgers was just here.
Yeah. Those fucking bang. I mean, we have huge events at the casinos. We have, oh my gosh, we have a virtual reality arcade now, Chaos, which is a female-owned business.
Nice.
On the north side of Spokane. It's a full arcade with virtual reality options also.
Yeah.
Spokane's become a rad place for doing things. Oh, we have one of those fucking escape rooms now, too.
Dude, we have several, actually. I think there are more than just the one.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I've seen several around town, actually. I'm going to go with some more basic shit. I'm going to point out this is something you can kind of do for free, and, like, you don't have to, like, do anything, but, like, go downtown. Like, go downtown, walk around Riverfront Park. That is the most free thing you can do and the most quintessentially tourist Spokane thing you can do.
Riverfront Park is beautiful. They've done a lot of gorgeous work on it.
And it's fun, and you get to see people, you get to see things. And then, like, also there's shopping and food downtown. So, like, if you're already at Riverfront Park, make a day of it.
Yeah, there's our ice ring, which is, I'm pretty sure, completely free to use if you have your own skating equipment. In the summer, you can do roller skating and then ice skating in the winter.
Yeah, and then we have Pride down here at the park, too, and like rallies for like Black Lives Matter and stuff. So like when you're downtown, that's where it happens.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Another thing I love, farmers markets. There's one in every like little borough around Spokane.
Yeah.
On every separate day, and they're free. Although you buy stuff at the farmers market,
but it's free to enter.
It's free to enter, and you can just go hang out with some vegetables.
Yeah, even the night market at Kendall Yards. Not only vegetables, you can get to know your local vendors.
Yeah, and it's
which
fun
is
to
very
meet people like at farmers markets. I think it's just one of the funnest people. Like they're sitting there all day with those vegetables. Like they want a conversation. They want to talk to you a little bit.
Oh yeah,
they want to get to know their customers.
And you should want to get to know your local businesses.
Yeah,
because that's the first step in #canceling money.
Yes, finding those farmers markets for sure. And Green Bluff too. Green Bluff is.
Oh yeah, Green Bluff.
It's not a farmer's market. It's like a farmer's like den. It's like a place you go for the farms.
It's a farm.
It's the farms. It's the farms.
It's the farm. It's a local farm. We grow a lot of produce up there. We have a lot of local employed seasonal. My sister used to work there actually. I think my sister's baby daddy's mom is, I think, the manager of one of the farms up there.
My God. They have like the seasonal festivals there up in Green Bluff. So like during the fall and then during the summer.
Yeah. Oh, and their corn maze is going to be open year round, and they're going to decorate it seasonally now.
No way. Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
They're going to decorate it seasonally for all the different things, so that's going to be really cool.
And we have things like Manitou Park too, so like not just Riverfront, but Manitou,
which is a conservation park, which does flowers. So gorgeous. And they have the indoor greenhouse too, so it's not just the like outside where all the tulips and stuff are. Yeah. Or even the Japanese garden, but they have the fucking like indoor fucking greenhouse. And me and Haley went on a date there one day. Actually, it was for my freaking birthday, and it was just really beautiful. So it was very special to me to visit there. And during like the holiday seasons, they like put a bunch of light shows in there, and then you can walk through and see all of the succulent and indoor plants lit up with lights. My sister's taken her son, and I have gone a couple of times with my sister and my nephew.
Gosh, I want to go.
We haven't been since Izzy was born, but
I was gonna mention, you said Kitty Cantina, Bark a Rescue Pub. We also have the dog one, then they have cats there too, I'm pretty sure.
No, there's just Bark. They just do dogs and Bark.
I thought I saw pictures of cats on their website.
Maybe they do.
They work with Spokane Humane.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I was there when we set it up. I still worked there when we set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bark also is a pub that partners with the Spokane Humane Society, and they have adoptable dogs on site at the pub, and they also most of their proceeds go to making sure that the animals at the Humane Society get food, which is very important. Dogs need food.
I think that's just a very like cool way to run a business. I mean, regardless of if you have like an adoption sort of like part to it, right? But like the service, like if you can donate to anything, but like especially like having that like gimmicky sort of like here's the adoption, but also here's the food. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's important to give people access, especially after the pandemic. It's important for people to have access on more fronts to be able to be informed about animals, but also be able to help them.
Right.
Get informed. Listen, we're animal people, y'all. I know that we're queer people, but
we're also animals.
We're also animal people, and we know that it's not about this and our tirade on animal rights. But seriously, get involved and learn some information from your local animal shelters.
Yeah. Because
it's very important that you can help them.
Yeah.
It's very important to help them.
Yeah. If you can't help anything else about anything,
help animals.
Help animals, Jesus.
Yeah. If I can say anything that Spokane definitely needs improvement on, our homeless situation is only getting worse. The amount of people who have become homeless in recent years it's getting out of hand.
I mean, like,
we need real solutions for that.
I don't really want to
voting for people who are bringing real solutions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to like get too much into it, but like me and Haley went through something in which we lost our apartment and now live with you. So it's not we're not homeless by any means, but the effects of it are not.
Yeah, you are at risk of homelessness.
They're literally not as far off as one might think when you're living as a person who is not severely underprivileged even, right?
Yeah,
like
for real.
So
I mean, I've been homeless before, living out of my car, eating out of dumpsters, right?
Yeah.
It's so I understand also that it's easy to fall into that and it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to get back on your feet when you don't have any standing.
Yeah.
And so if I were to point out the biggest sort of criticisms that I have for the city that I love and the city that I live in, homelessness is a serious issue.
I'm going to take a swinging bat and go with one, okay? Okay. You ready for this one? I'm going to say the education system in which we fight over really dumb stuff in the school, like the school boards and the school system for curriculum. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
Even, I mean, you can come away with a general, like, high school career and probably be fine, but the fact that Spokane can't really get over arguing about certain curriculum items, like sexual education and then also history, ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. And it has to do with queer people.
Absolutely does.
At the end of the day,
the erasure of queer people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I think that criticism stands pretty much across the United States because our education was run by Betsy fucking DeVoe.
That's true.
For 4 goddamn years.
The devil, you mean? A woman out for children's blood?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, but in Spokane, it's a really big issue. I feel like education is another piece where we are very much not moving in a progressive direction.
No.
In the Spokane area.
We're just bickering about it right now. I think there's not.
Yeah, there are no solutions, and like I personally don't believe in what public education stands for in our country right now because it is about assimilating you to capitalism. # cancel money. That's what going to school is. It's about preparing human people to assimilate into capitalism.
Yeah, which is exactly why I stopped going to my master's program a few months ago. So I was like, I've gotten this far, and like at this point, the trade-off is just not there. It's just not there. Like I'm gonna spend all these loans on trying to get this education that at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna pay off for me. Like I really just don't, no matter what I choose.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like, that's a huge issue. I mean, that's not just an issue in Spokane, but that is a huge issue for Spokane. Although we do have some pretty good alternative programs to...
Those are really
to traditional public school education.
I was going to say they're very,
and it's
what's
really
the word? Like, innovative.
Yeah, and it's really about what you make of it, because there are definitely, HomeLink, for example, is a great way to keep kids accountable while still doing their schoolwork, and to keep their parents accountable while still doing their schoolwork, because they do have to meet with teachers and review their curriculum.
Right.
With educational professionals. The problem is it's up to the individual person to teach them actual things that they need.
Right.
But there are more innovative ways to get children out of the public school system, but they do require you to be able to be
access, really. I feel like it's like a referral
is the issue there. But Spokane also has a lot of resources for people that are just free. We were talking about it earlier, like free fun things to do, but things that are just like actual resources for people. The library, for example.
Yeah.
Our public library offers so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in the buildings, as services that we do. They have a reading buddy program, which sends people who are interested in helping children read to go. I used to do it. We go to their schools or spend time in the library over the summers and just reading with children and helping them learn to love to read.
Right.
Which is a huge step in the right direction. We have the Sparks Center, which not only collects donations for things, it also allows people to rent out equipment for things that they might need and get help for it, access to computers and things like that. Huge resources that you can access for free in Spokane to help you.
Yeah. I think the city even has a few things, like the city puts on a lot of Parks and Rec type things.
Mm-hmm.
They have an entire guide that they publish every season that has the newest season's events and like class listings and stuff like that. I do not know. I have not been to some of these classes, but I imagine for like kids and seniors and disabled adults or kids, like it's life-changing, because these are low fee or free classes that you can go to, spend your time at, and do what you want. And they range from things like sports. You could go swimming at the local pools, right? Or you can like join a craft club or a journaling club or something like that. And they have like hiking dates and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Through the trails around here. So
we have a couple of different organizations who share food for free. So like they cook it up. It's not considered distributing because they cook it up and they eat with you. And so they can just create a free meal and they don't have to worry about licensing and stuff and having people pay for it, because they're just sharing a meal.
Where is that at?
They do it downtown. I can't remember the name of it, and I don't know if they're still doing it after the pandemic, but I know that it did exist.
They still do burritos for the people through SCAR.
Oh, nice. Burritos for the people. It's really good.
And yeah, we donated water a few weeks ago. We brought like...
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Maybe, because it's completely for free. They set up a main market, and you just swing around, get a burrito, and... Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's exactly the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, because the model is supposed to be that it's radical food for the people without having any sort of, like, take back.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All of our shelters, including Scraps, have food banks, pet food banks, where you can get food and litter, for your animals, if you're ever in need of that.
And the human food banks here are not bad either.
Yeah, the human food banks are pretty good.
Actually, I find that they're so generous. They'll give to literally anyone. They'll be like, we have extra peanut butter all the time. Yes, have this.
Yeah. Meals on Wheels is here. I actually know one of the people who's in charge of on Meals on Wheels, and she's a really amazing lady. Mm-hmm. And she'll take good care of you. Amanda Bennett, woo! But yeah, we have lots of amazing things here in Spokane for people to take advantage of.
And I would say kind of 3 queer organizations too. We have Spectrum Center, which doesn't have an actual physical building, so you can't go to the building and do anything, but you can definitely like participate in their programs. They've run vaccination clinics for the last year and a half.
Yep.
And they pay people. They pay people to get the vaccination.
To get their COVID
Almost
vaccines.
Every vaccination clinic, so you can show up and get $50.
Yep.
I would keep an eye out on that if you're not vaccinated or you need a booster.
Yep.
And then there's also Odyssey Youth Movement, which is like a safe space for youth in Spokane and even young adults.
Yes.
And you can get resources there either like social emotional resources or like actual materials, like pads and food, or I'm clothes, something.
Yeah, I'd also like to throw in Our Sister's Closet with the YWCA. I
love the YWCA.
Yeah, I actually used to volunteer with them, and Our Sister's Closet is a great program that you can schedule an appointment to go and get free clothes. They're usually business casual, so like oriented around helping people get job interviews and things like that. But if you were somebody, like most of the people that we saw were people who are in domestic violence situations, people who were just recently released from incarceration.
Right, people who need the clothing.
People who don't have clothing and need some, and that's a great resource. You can go on the YWCA website and make an appointment to go down to their building and just get yourself some free clothes to look at.
Cool.
And there's always somebody there help you find things or help you find things in your size and get things for you. So
yeah,
it's a really good program too.
Yeah, I mean, and we could sit here all day and kind of just like list the like things that Spokane offers people. One of the actual things that we have done on our website is that.
Yeah, we do that on our website. I don't know. We just wanted to come here and talk about Spokane a little bit because we haven't done it before, and it's where we both are now.
Yeah.
And it's where we're going to be for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
In this point, and I don't know, I just want people to, because like we know about those things because we've utilized them. People who've never utilized them never even think about it. When you went to the food bank for the first time, did you even know that they existed?
I mean, I'm gonna say yes, but for different reasons. I would assume that, like, honestly, most people do not know.
Yeah, like exactly.
Or just the plentiful amount of food that you can share amongst a community.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
So.
And if you guys, if we have listeners in other places, look into your local areas and see what sort of things you can get involved in. Start spreading the word about these community programs because they undermine capitalism.
It only makes it better as a community to utilize these things and bring people and bring money, or hashtag cancel money, but bring the money that we're realistically living with right now back to the places that the money should be going to, not these like other places.
Redistribute your funds to the economy and not to a billionaire's bank vault on the moon.
Yeah, like one thing that we didn't mention about Spokane is that it has a huge thrifting population.
Huge.
Literally, like, you can go down any block and there's a fucking thrift store there.
There's a thrift store every 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things about that is, like, if you don't want to participate in fast fashion in Spokane, you actually do not have to. I don't care if you see the mall. I don't care if you see Target. You do not have to buy Target clothes at Target. You can buy Target clothes at the thrift store because they're there. Or even Plato's Closet, for Christ's sake. About that, but
yeah. Huge thrifting culture here in Spokane.
And it's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. And it's fun.
Fashion is the funnest.
Yeah, fashion is fun. But yeah, so I guess the message of this podcast is just go out and learn your local space. Go out and learn your local space. You've been educated on our local space. How we feel.
Do some Googling, spend some time writing some stuff down, maybe for yourself and maybe for some other people. If you are looking into maybe some of the things that we talked about today, our local tab on our website, Queerosphere.net, does have a list of a lot of resources, a lot of spaces, and a brief history of Spokane that I wrote not too long ago. So you can kind of see like exactly like what we're talking about. You can go to these websites, you can visit and see the people who are running them, and you can visit the sites and do what you want to fucking do in Spokane. Like, it's not impossible, and it's probably super fun.
Yeah.
So
go forth and enjoy.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Queerosphere, our first episode of season 2.
Season 2.
Welcome back, everybody.
Woo.
So we will see you on the flip side, queers.
Ooh, bye.
Bye. I don't need to keep that. I just like to say bye all the time.